going to be doing the Mulligan taping. And what this tape job does is it changes kind of the rotation of the lower bone on the upper bone to hopefully create pain-free movement in the knee. And so what we're going to do, or what we're going to need first, is a pair of scissors. We're going to need our Luco tape, and then we can get started taping. So I'm going to have Michaela stand on up, and you're going to be facing that wall right there. And the first thing we want to do for this taping is we want to figure out the rotation that is either provocative of the symptoms or alleviates the symptoms. And so there's two ways we can do that. The first one, she's going to be standing there, shoulder or feet shoulder width apart. She's just going to be facing that wall, and I'm going to move that knee in two different directions. So here's the first one. So we're turning in. Here's the second one, we're turning out. Did either one of those feel better, worse, or the same?
Felt better going in.
Okay. So the next one we can do, just to verify that in makes it feel better, is I'm going to give a little bit of rotation inward, and then I'm going to have Michaela do a mini squat. And come on back up. All right. Here's the other rotation. Going back down. Going back up. How did that feel?
Good.
Good. Did the one where we went in feel better?
Yes.
Okay. And so we're going to taper, and we're going to kind of facilitate that rotation of the knee, this kind of inward rotation. So what we do is we start on the back of the leg, back of the calf, down here. And we're going to make a big spiral up and around the knee. So we don't want to cross the knee, and we don't want to be on that front kneecap. And so I'm going to get a little bit of tape on there. I'm going to give a little bit of rotation. And we're going to come up and around while providing rotation with the bottom hand. And we're going to end on the back of the leg. All right. So we can always add more tape. But this is something we want to leave on for only 2 to 3 days because the adhesive's super sticky. When it comes time to get it off, just use a little alcohol to remove the tape. You can get it wet, but just use a hairdryer to air dry it. So if you don't have someone at home to do that last taping we showed you, there is another way to do it. We're going to have to change the tape up from Luco tape. We're going to have to go to KT tape, which is a little bit stretchier. And we're not going to have to do any sort of crazy movements to put it on. And so you're going to get 8 squares. And so there's squares on the back of this tape. And once you cut that, we want to round the edges. So we're just going to just take the corners off, and that'll help it stay on a little bit longer. All right, so we got our 8 blocks of tape with the rounded edge. We're going to make a little tear at that first block, and that's where we're going to stick it to the skin. Now we don't want to touch this adhesive, because if we touch it, it's not likely to stick on the skin. And so we're going to start at the back of the calf. Kayla's going to get that there. And as we apply this, we want to do 100% of the tension. So we're going to pull a little bit of that under roll. Yep. And now we want to do 100% of the tension, up and around. And we're going to end on the back of the calf. Just like that. And this tape can stay on anywhere from 4 to 6 days, just depending on how long it wants to stick.